Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Simplified Basic Concepts. In this video, I'm going to start with process theory of motivation, in which I'll first start with Vroom's expectancy theory of motivation. Before this, I have completed all the important content theory of motivation in my previous video. So let's begin. The topics which I'll cover in this video is introduction to the theory, elements and description of the elements of the theory, what is motivation force as per this theory, implications of the theory, and advantages and limitations. So the expectancy theory is also known as valence instrumentality expectancy theory or VIE theory. The expectancy theory was proposed by Victor Vroom of Yale School of Management in 1964. So this theory is about the mental processes regarding choice. It explains the processes that an individual undergoes to make choices. That is, this theory explains that what and why an individual chooses one behavior option over others. So the VI theory proposes that an individual will act in a way so that they are motivated to select a specific behavior over others as per their expectation of the results. So it's the expectation of the results which motivates an individual to select a specific behavior. Now, from employer's point of view, this theory emphasizes that the needs for organization to relate rewards directly to the performance and to ensure that the rewards provided are those that are deserved and wanted by the recipients. So this theory also says that from employer point of view, it's important to relate the rewards directly to the performance, and the rewards should be such that are expected and wanted by the employees. Then only they'll be motivated to do the work. Now the components of this theory. There are three components. The first is expectancy, which is denoted by E. Second is instrumentality, which is denoted by I. And third is valence, which is denoted by V. Now, as per this theory, a person will be motivated when his expectancy, instrumentality, and valence, all these three components are high. So let's understand what these three components are and how these three components affect the motivational level of an employee. So as per this theory, the motivation here is a product of three variables, and the variables are valence, instrumentality, and expectancy. So this theory says that if a person has high instrumentality, high expectancy, and high valence, then only he will choose or go for opting that behavior. Now let's understand what is expectancy. Expectancy means a linkage between effort and performance. That is, if the person believes that the work he is doing, if there he'll put in, increase his effort, then his performance will also be enhanced. Right? Now the example of it can be, can a person hit or achieve his targets if he work harder? Now if he believes that if a person will work harder, then he can achieve his targets, then his expectancy will increase. Second factor is instrumentality. Now instrumentality here is the linkage between performance and outcome, which means that here the person believes that if his performance is high, then he'll be able to achieve the outcome which he expects. Now the example of it can be, will hitting or achieving the target by the individual lead to those rewards? That is, by achieving the targets, can he get those rewards which he is expecting? And the final is valence. Now the valence means significance of expected outcome. That is, value of the outcome which he will get by doing the work. And the example of it can be when he asks the question to himself that, do I find the rewards desirable? That is, are the rewards which he is getting after the work is desirable? Now, if the individual finds these three conditions favorable, when he finds the expectancy, instrumentality, and valence of a work or behavior is high, then only he'll be motivated to choose that behavior. Now, this explains how an individual is motivated to choose a behavior. Now, let's understand these three factors in details. Let's begin with expectancy. So, the expectancy can be described as the belief that higher or increased effort will yield better performance. And conditions that can enhance expectancy includes correct resource availability, having required skill set for the job, getting necessary support to get the job. Now, when an individual has correct resources and he has got the required skill set to do the job, and he gets necessary support from his colleagues, from his seniors to get the job done, then he expects that the effort which he'll be putting will give better performances, and thus his expectancy for that behavior or for that work will increase. As I explained earlier, example of expectancy can be if a person thinks that by working harder in the plant or organization, he'll be able to produce more than others. Then, now this shows his expectancy, that is, with the increased effort, will he be able to produce or perform more or better than others. As expectancy is effort and performance linkage, its value can range between 0 and 1, and the value of expectancy can never be negative. So when the expectancy is 0, it means that the individual thinks he could not perform successfully and he will not try that work or behavior. And when the value of expectancy is 1, individual thinks he could perform that work successfully and he will put more efforts to achieve the desired outcome. Now, instrumentality. A person will perform at a certain level if he believes that the performance will lead to expected outcome. So, instrumentality is basically the faith that if the individual performs well, then he can achieve a valid outcome or reward. And this reward may be in the form of pay increase, promotion, recognition, or sense of accomplishment. The example of instrumentality can be when a person thinks that if he produces more than anyone else in the plant, will he get a bigger raise or a faster promotion? Or when an individual thinks that if he make more sales, will he get a bonus or a greater commission? Now these things shows that here he is linking his performance with the outcome, which instrumentality means. Instrumentality is low when the reward is same for all the performances. The instrumentality cannot be negative. Its value varies from 0 to 1. When the value of instrumentality is 0, that means there is no relationship between performance and outcome. That is, here the person believes that how much hard work he is doing, he will not be able to achieve the outcome which he is expecting. So he will not be interested in doing that work. And when the value of instrumentality is 1, it means that the outcome is dependent of performance. That is, the outcome which is expected by the individual will be achieved if he will perform well. So this is instrumentality. And finally, the valence. Now, valence is the value an individual places on the rewards or outcome, which is based on the needs, goals, values, and sources of motivation of an individual. So, the value which an individual places on the rewards shows its valence, and it differs from individual to individual based on their own needs, goals, and values. Now, this value is not an actual level of satisfaction. Rather, it is the expected satisfaction of the particular outcome. Now, what can be the example of valence? It can be when a person thinks that do I need a sales bonus, or is it the extra time that I'll spend making extra sales call worth the extra commission. So what is the reward which is important for an individual? Is it the sales bonus, or the extra commission which he wants, or a bigger raise, or the promotion? So when an individual decides what is important for him, the valence of that thing increases. Now the valence can include a range from both a positive to negative outcome. When the value of valence is negative outcome, that means the outcome leads to dissatisfaction in an individual. That is, he is not happy with the reward which he got. When the value of valence is 0, this shows that the individual is indifferent to the outcome. And when the value of valence is positive, it shows that this is the outcome which the individual was expecting and it is valued by the individual. So these were the 3 components on which the motivation depends. Now what is motivation force? So as per this theory, motivation force is expectancy into instrumentality into valence. When deciding among behavioral options, individuals select the option with the greatest amount of motivation force. So those options will be given more weightage by an individual where an individual finds that the expectancy, instrumentality and valence has a high value. We know that expectancy and instrumentality are attitudes, whereas valence is rooted in an individual's value system. Now, the degree of motivation will be high if all the 3 variables, that is expectancy, instrumentality and valence is high, and it will be low if all or any 2 of the variable is low. The degree of motivation will be moderate if one of the 3 variable is low and the other 2 are high. Now, the example of valued outcome in the workplace includes pay increase, bonus, promotion, time off, new assignments or recognitions. So if the management can effectively determine what their employees value, this will allow the management to motivate employees in order to get the highest result and effectiveness out of the workplace. Right? So in this way, the motivation force of an individual could be higher if the organization finds out that what are the things where an individual finds his expectancy, instrumentality and valence to be higher. Now let's understand the implications. Here are 3 cases which I'll be discussing. So let's begin with the case 1. In case 1, if the employees are pushed for an outcome, the rewards of which doesn't align with employees' expectation. So in this case, the valence will be negative because the reward is such that the employees are negative. That is, they don't want or don't have any value for that reward. If the valence is negative, the motivation force will be low. That means that the employees will not be motivated to perform the task. So the solution to this problem is the leader or manager must make effort to pick such reward which benefits the employees and pushes them to pursue the outcome with all their capacity. And secondly, effective communication will also be very helpful in this situation. Now case 2. In many instances, a certain task may seem too daunting. And daunting means difficult. So there are certain tasks which may seem very difficult to the employees. And as a result, they may be very reluctant. That is, they may be very unwilling to undertake those tasks. So now what can be done? Here the expectancy is 0 because an employee thinks that how much effort he'll be putting, he won't be able to perform. When he won't be able to perform, he won't be able to get the required outcome. That's why his expectancy will be 0. And hence the motivation force too will be very low. So that means the employee will not be able to perform the task. So the solution available here with the management is this problem can be easily mitigated through proper training and development programs, making the staff fully understand about the complexity and significance of the task will also result in getting rid of any doubts and queries which they may have. So this is the solution to the problem. Now let's take case 3. Here, if the employees believe that even if he achieves the yearly goals, the rewards such as pay increase won't be as per his expectation, or it will be similar to other employees, then the instrumentality here will be 0, because the performance to outcome linkage here is very poor. Hence, motivation force will be low. That means the employees will not be motivated to perform the task and achieve the goals. Now, the solution to this is through effective communication between managers and employees. The manager can understand employees' expectation. The manager can help employees in building realistic expectations. Also, giving recognition to employees can help in increasing the motivation of employees. So we saw here 3 case scenarios where there are different problems with the employees and they had low motivation. And with effectively tackling, the manager using the VIE theory enhanced the motivation level of the employees. Thus, the VIE level in this way can be helpful to the managers as well as can help in increasing the motivation level of the employees. Now, advantages of this theory. Now, this theory is based on self-interest individual who can achieve maximum satisfaction and who wants to minimize dissatisfaction. Secondly, this theory stresses upon the expectations and perceptions of an individual. And finally, this theory focuses on psychological extravaganza, while final objective of individual is to attain maximum pleasure and least pain, because they all at the end want to be motivated and choose only those options which will give them maximum better rewards. And the limitations to this theory is the expectancy theory seems to be idealistic because quite a few individuals perceive high degree correlation between performance and rewards. And secondly, the application of this theory is limited as reward is not directly correlated with performance in many organizations. It is related to other parameters such as position, effort, responsibility, education, etc. So with this, we come to the end of this topic, and in my next video, I'll discuss reinforcement theory, which is another process theory of motivation. So please like and subscribe this channel. Thank you.